Since the dawn of time, the armies of heaven and hell have waged an endless war. Drawn to the conflict was the Charred Council, an entity bound by ancient laws to preserve order and balance. It held that any great power, unchecked, threatened the very fabric of the universe. In time, heaven and hell came to honor the Council and its laws, for none were beyond the swift and terrible justice of the Council's enforcers. A fearsome brotherhood known as the Four Horsemen. Amid the turmoil, the first humans emerged. The Council foretold that these weak but cunning creatures would someday be integral to the balance. Thus, a third kingdom was named, the Kingdom of Man. By order of the Council, a truce was forged between heaven and hell. The Great Pact was bound by 7 seals, to be broken at the appointed time, when man's kingdom stood ready for the End War. A battle that would bring balance and determine the ultimate fate of the 3 kingdoms.
Hello everybody, my name is Doomraker, and we're here with our new series, Single Player Fun Times, I guess if you want to call it that. No real working title as of yet. Basically, Thor and I have decided to do kind of some one-off videos for you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays, kind of the filler days, where me and him will actually go ahead and play some of the older single-player games, newer single-player games, pretty much anything that seems like a lot of fun that we really can't play with other people. So obviously this is a little bit different than the usual me and him yelling at each other. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I've actually decided to go back to kind of earlier into the 360 days, back several years ago when they came out with Darksiders 1. The allure to this game for me was that they actually had a lot of things like Zelda, Bayonetta, things like that in the game, Devil May Cry. Those kinds of things were actually all very relevant in the game. And those were all very favorite series of mine. So kick back, relax, let's go ahead and get into the little opening CG cinematic where everything just goes all to hell. And then I accidentally skip it. Whoops. Due to the copyright claims, I'm not really that bothered that I skipped it by accident. What's the button for this? I don't get it. What the heck is the button? Oh, it's E. Thank you, game, for just flat out telling me that it was E. V, okay. Yeah, you know, you could have told me that 30 seconds ago. Goodbye, dead person. Who else thinks this guy looks like the Balrog from Lord of the Rings? War is here. No kidding. Holy cow, I had no idea that war would be here. Now, I did play the second game. It was also one of the better games that I played within the last couple years. I'm really hoping for a third one eventually, even though THQ did dissolve. So here's to hoping that they actually might come out with another one. Now, one of the things that you have to do for an achievement, whether playing on the Xbox or Steam or anything like that, is that you have to kill 100 cars. It's actually a lot harder than it sounds, because once you get past this point in the game, you don't have very many cars. I'm sorry, that's 100 people with cars. My recommendation would be to do this section of the game without going into Chaos Form and picking up the cars and throwing them at the angels and whatnot, and that actually counts as kills.
It's happening.
Is there a way to run faster? Jump, how do I dodge? Okay, Q is to throw things. Oh, Alt is to dodge. Classic action adventure. Block off where you need to be able to go. What are you doing? Dead. Well, that angel's not doing so hot. Come on. Yeah. One of the things I really enjoyed about this is that it kind of felt like I was playing a mixture of Zelda, Devil May Cry, a little bit of Bayonetta thrown in there. Those were some of my favorite games from the previous console generation, so not a big shock that this one's really good. Not to mention the gothic kind of subtones to the game. And the gentleman who actually created all the characters, Joe Madureira, which did a lot of comic books. The art style was really impressive with the game. Now, there's not very many secret unlockables in this intro area. They don't really have much to do in here besides kind of introduce who the character is and do the classic action thing where they take away all of your cool gear and such not. And introduce you to basic kind of platforming and such not. Double jumps, dodges, sprints, those kinds of things. Now it says you can hit Alt or whatever the corresponding button is on the Xbox or PS4. Or PS3, but you can also hit space to do all the same things on walls. One thing I'm not a big fan of is that most of the executions are pretty much the same, and it's, if you've played Rise in the Xbox One, and I'll probably do a video on that later, but if you've played that, the executions are also fairly limited in that game. And this one is that you got maybe 5 executions grand total for most of the characters. It's normally decapitating a limb and then killing them. But in terms of originality, it's fun for the first like 30 minutes of executions, but past that, it's not really like the greatest execution system I've seen. But it's no different than most QTE sequences in video games. And again, kind of the standard, you gotta clear the room of baddies before you're allowed to advance to the next section kind of mantra with most games. So, you know, if the formula ain't broken, don't fix it. You have to think, with all this chaos going around, where's the army? Where's all those people? Not that I think that they'd actually do anything useful in this particular moment, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't do something, you know, interesting. How do I throw this thing? Well, I can just hit people with it, I guess. Stop hitting me, you pricks. Well then. Where do I go? Oh, this way. What's over here? Giant pit of lava and some CGs. I do like the Angels' kind of design choices for this because it kind of brings them in kind of the techno-ish kind of age with how that they're formatted, and then but still keeps them feeling like they're angels. Kind of reminds me a lot of like Warhammer and such, not in terms of how the Angels look next to like Space Marines or something like that. The Angels do not look like they're having their great time with the demons. I'm pretty sure the demons are probably winning. Uh-oh, we got a badass over here.
Abaddon, what is this? Where are my brothers? This cannot be. The final seal.
My lord!
How did this happen?
At least that chick's doing her job right.
The seventh seal was not broken.
Giant hand.
Abaddon! What in heaven's name have you done?
I answer the call.
New big rockly guy. Man, I gotta stop doing that. It's accidentally clicking left, right click on my mouse causes that to happen. Okay, how do I throw it? That's not throwing it. Okay, how do I throw this damn thing? Oh, middle mouse. Ow. You know, I should probably remap that to a different button. Air car? You know, that would probably do better on a different button than that. More cars, and this is the same kind of tropes with any sort of Zelda-ish style of game, is that the boss has like 2 or 3 moves and then that's it. You got, you know, your standard ranged attack, you've got your standard melee attack thing where it disrupts the ground. You do it about 3 times and you win the game. There's no real skill required for most of the bosses on regular or even normal difficulty, but the skill cap for the Apocalypse difficulty is a little bit higher. Add maybe 1 or 2 moves to each boss and it makes it so that
It gives it a little bit more challenge. And I need to stop being hit by that. And again, going through the cycles, I mean, he does cars, he throws little things at you in terms of spikes on the ground, and then he will pick up the ground and use it kind of as, lift up the whole street, and just kind of mess with it so that it causes you to take some damage. And if I was any good at this game, I might actually, not take damage from everything that he throws. Yeah, I'm gonna remap that. That's just bad. Take that, evil destroyer dude person. Come on. I do have to say that this game's a little bit easier on a controller than a keyboard and mouse. Just because, big firm believer that platforming games and action-adventure games similar to Zelda or Darksiders should be on a controller. Normally it works a little bit better, plays faster, easier. Also more enjoyable for my couch than my computer chair. Any more stuff, or is this just a pre-rendered? That's not good. And you just got bitch slapped.
Has been broken. And so have you, horseman.
Hey, you might want to get the eye looked at. Looks like it kind of hurts. And that concludes episode 1, ladies and gentlemen. Come back next week on Tuesday. If you guys enjoyed it enough, I will keep doing it and keep playing. And we'll continue with some more Darksiders 1. See you later, guys.